Give it a sec. Alright. Hey guys, it's Isaiah from Games, and this is episode 3 of Dev Grind. Yesterday I was going over a lot of patron stuff that I was doing, giving out rewards, preparing the high-res JPEG files and the PSD files. And since I was on a roll yesterday, I pretty much decided to just do all the rewards. So I set up everything for the 3, 5, 10, 20, and $50 donors. And so far it seems like people have been pretty happy, which is great. And all their payments and stuff have been processed, so yeah, that marks our first official month of getting dollars from people that are supporting us, which is really cool. But today is another day, so I'm doing more stuff. Today I'm working on getting my Twitch alerts all set up, which is when you're doing streaming, it's like a thing that'll pop up if you get a follower or a donor or something. So I'll pull down my OBS here and I'll do a little demo for you. We got Inception window here. Where's my alerts? So I'll pull this out of the way. So I'm gonna have a Twitch follower alert pop up. Ta-da! So I have an eye dancing saying so-and-so is following. And that's pretty much what I'm doing. Getting the follower set up, the donors set up, all-time top donor, etc. Since I'm not really streaming like a normal streamer, this stuff probably won't show up very much at all. But I still wanted to do it just because it makes me feel special about myself. I just wanted to kind of show you guys what I was doing to like make that Anaya dance GIF animation for when she pops up, when someone donates. And if you're hearing the wind chimes, it's because I have the game playing right now. You have a giant poot over here. I'm ripping GIFs out of my Unity game, so I'll stop that so you don't have to listen to the wind chimes unless you find it pleasing. I find it pleasing. I'm gonna keep it on. That's just some like background sound effect stuff that I have set up for Gamoria. So what I basically have done for the Twitch alerts is I captured the animations out of Unity, and then I brought in each of the frames, and this program that I use is called Giftcam. It's actually really easy to use. So you just make this window and you capture what you need to capture. You can set your frames per second and everything. And then I'll just show you from scratch. So click new means it cleared it all out, and then you can record it. So this dance animation only has about 4 or 5 frames, so I'm just gonna try and capture those frames. And I already unclicked it, so it captured 9 frames, and you can click edit, and it will show you all the frames that it captured. And this creates very efficient GIFs because all this green space is going to be transparent in between individual frames when it saves it out. That way it's not doing like a full redo of every solid color. So it recognizes that all this is the same color as it was over here. This is a very efficient, awesome program. You can see that him here, he's like almost all green, is because it recognizes a lot of the colors are the same from the previous frame. So just saves it makes the file sizes a lot smaller. And his animation is not 9 frames, so you can right click and say delete this frame to start. I'll delete those few frames. And that's where his animation recycles, so I'm gonna delete this frame to end. So that just captured his 4 frames of animation. You can set the delay to each of the frames. I think it's around 1.1 2 or something like that. Then you just close it, and that's the edit. And then you can click this down arrow by the save and click preview. And this will pretty much show you what it will look like when it's done. So you can see what's actually live in Unity versus what it is recorded. And my recording is a little slower, so I can go back to edit. I can reduce the delay by 0.11. Preview it again. Still a little slow, so I'll do it one more time. 1. That's a lot closer. It's not perfect, but that's fine. I'm not going to be anal about something like that. So, and it shows you your file size here, which is nice, and you can see, you know, a cool animation at this size, which is rather large, is only going to be about 262 kilobytes. Then you can just click save. Choose your file destination. I already did it, so I'm not going to save over it. Then go to my Photoshop, and this is the stuff I was doing on Anaya. Literally the same exact thing, except I had opened up the GIF in Photoshop. And then you can pull up the timeline in Photoshop, which brings this up. And you can set each of the frames to your animation. I'll actually just show you what I had done with Poot 2. Twitch alerts, Poot dance. So it recognizes the 4 frames here. The delay, I think, is pretty accurate. I had it set to 0.1, and this is 0.09. And the way Photoshop works is each frame is essentially a layer, and it just changes the visibility of a layer. So for the first frame, what I want to do is I want these to have transparency. So I'm going to test it like this. There's probably some way with Giftcam to get the transparency with the white, but I just don't know how. So, I mean, this is like one extra step for me. So I'll just do like a color range selection within Photoshop. Try and select all the ranges of white. Then I'm going to expand my selection by 2 pixels and delete it. So there you go. This will be transparent, and this will be probably the dance animation for when someone donates some money. If they do a one-time donation on our stream. Again, I don't expect this to happen very often. I want to try and funnel people to the Patreon because I feel like I can keep that most organized, especially with the reward system. So I'll just go through. Oh. So what I've actually done is I kind of messed up the first frame of the animation because when you mess with the layers, it messes with the actual frame. So you got to go to the frame first. Just rinse and repeat. And 2 pixels, delete. Alright, next frame. Same exact thing. This is why this is the Dev Grind series, because this is what work is. You just gotta do work over and over and over. Oops, mess that up again. Alright, so I have all my transparency set up for my 4 different animations. Can test it by press and play. Ta-da! Feels like that's a little fast, so I'm gonna put this to 0.1. Try that. That looks better. Now I can do save to web, shift control alt S. Save it as a GIF. I'm doing 32 colors because I don't really need a billion colors. I don't need 256 colors for these GIFs. Like, I have a gradient going from their feet and up, and that's just like art direction stuff. But for the GIF, I don't really need to capture all that information. You can see it when I do this. You can see there's a very slight change in there's a gradation from the top to the bottom. I don't really care about that for just this. So, and I don't want this extra white, so I'm going to click this, and I'm going to tell it to be transparent. So that should work. Save it. Save this as O2 because I edit. Now bring up my Twitch alerts, and I'm going to bring this down so you guys can see it. This is donation alerts. I'm going to change the picture to Poot 02. Here we go. So this one will be Poot dancing. And the color I'm going to copy from what I had set for the follower alert. I like this, kind of like the art direction I've been going with Gomoria is this like, it's kind of an off-green, yellowish, makes me think of grass in autumn time. It's kind of like, I always like autumn in the Pacific Northwest, so that's kind of my color choice. So go back to donation alerts. I'll mess with that later. And change the color. Oh, what did I do? Does it not like that I oh, no, it worked. Save it. And I have a different font as well for this, because it's a little more pretty. Donation. Font. Folio script. Save. So now, let's try this. Pull this up so I can see it. Do a donation alert test. Ta-da! There's a bit of a crappy outline on Poot. I can fix that pretty easily, actually. So what I can do is just take my wand. Oh dear. Sample all layers. Turned out a lot worse. So that's probably just because of how my GIF settings were saved. Just causing the alert to have that white outline. It's a lot easier when you're doing like pixel art because you can go through and edit every single pixel. But I'm not doing that with Gomoria. It's going to be much more painterly. So, I mean, for now, it's not optimal, but it's working. Let's test the follower one more time. Because Anaya looks pretty good. I don't know what I did to make her look so nice. Oh no, she looks bad too. Alright, well that's fine. Well, that was about 10 minutes worth of stuff. So I won't drag this on too long. See if there's some other thing I can talk about for a couple minutes. I guess one thing I could say is I'm actually glad I got OBS Studio. Because with OBS Classic, I have a laptop and I wasn't able to monitor stream very well because laptops have two video cards. They have like a crappy integrated one, and then they have a nice NVIDIA one, and OBS Classic just didn't run well at all. So this one runs a lot better, so you guys can see a lot of the work I'm actually doing. Yeah, cool fact. Alright, I'm gonna stop the play here. And yeah, that was about good for Dev Grind episode number 3. So if you're interested in seeing more about Gomoria, or just this Dev Grind stuff, or the Patreon, I'll just you should see it here on the link below my name, but it's patreon.com/Gamoria or Gamoria.com, and you can see about our project Gamoria and who we are and what we're doing. So, yeah, thanks for watching, and TTFN, ta-ta for now.